Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name's Lisa, I head Stamping Up demonstrator based in Perth in Western Australia. And I'm going to make a card today that I'm posting up onto the Crazy Crafters highlights. I thought I'd be brave and just raise the camera up this time just to say hello to you before I move it down to make the project. So today this is the card that I'm going to make. I've used pink, yellow and crumb cake in there. And I'm going to remake this card but in greens this time around. I'm using the soon to be retiring, and I'm really sad about this, soon to be retiring Botanical Blooms. This stamp set along with the die, coordinating die set, it's retiring by the end of May, or until stocks last anyway, so I'd get in quick. This is one of my all-time favourites. This one along with the Oh So Succulent bundle as well. That's also retiring at the end of May, so I'm a bit sad about that. But at the same time, I have seen the new catalogue and there are some fantastic stamp sets in there. And new toys to play with too, so sad but not too sad. And I'm also going to use the Pop of Paradise today, and this stamp set will be continuing on into the new annual catalogue. So I'm going to start off, well, I'm going to move you down first of all, which is always a risky thing. Excuse me for bending into the camera. Sometimes my phone drops, so I have to be really careful. Right, okay, I think you can see quite well there. So starting off with just a standard size piece of cardstock, folded over. And then a piece of Emerald Envy that I've cut to sort of leave just a bit of a border. And then a white piece that I've cut to leave just a very minimal border around the Emerald Envy as well. So I'm going to work on this piece of card before bringing them all together. And I'm going to start off with the largest leaf out of the Botanical Blooms stamp set. So this is the largest one. I'm going to ink it up in Wild Wasabi. So one of the lighter greens to start off with. And I'm doing this upside down for me, but the right way up for you. I'm going to stamp this 3 times, one at the top, one off to the side, and another one off to the side there. Okay, and then take the corresponding sort of leaf vein stamp, and in Emerald Envy pen, marker pen, it's going to colour in the veins. Oops. And add that to the leaf set. There we go, so one in there. So we had on stage last Saturday, it was held in Perth and in Sydney in Australia. There were just 3 of us from the Crazy Crafters team in the Perth location, and I think about 28 went to Sydney, so a good group. There we go, so that's 3 of those there. And then I'm going to take the next size down of the leaves from the Botanical Blooms, and I'm going to stamp this one up in Garden Green. Okay, I'm just going to put one sort of here. It's fairly random really. I'm going to fill in all the, well, a lot of the white spaces with smaller leaves as I go along. Put one down there. One in here. There we go. And then again take the corresponding leaf vein, and I'm going to colour that in the Emerald Envy again, marker pen, and just add that to the centre of each of these. Got quite a bit of detail this one, which is nice. There we go. Oh, one of the dogs wants to go out. Never make a video with dogs shut in the room with you. They start off fast asleep and nice and quiet, and then they always wake up and they want to be let out. You know, we'll see how far we get before I have to get up and let her out. Okay. And so then I'm going to take the leaf, and this is in the rubber stamps. So this is a sort of tropical leaf there. And I'm going to ink this one up in Always Artichoke. Now this one doesn't have a corresponding sort of leaf vein to stamp in the middle. And so I'm just going to put that in to where I've got some of the gaps, including a little bit of Stampin' Off there as well. Coming in here. Okay, I think that's enough for that one. Put that over there. And then I'm going to take this little leaf here, like a little sort of fern leaf. And this is actually the middle section of there's a sort of a block leaf. I'm getting really inky here. A block leaf shape, and then this is like the leaf vein part, but I'm just going to use this one. And I'm actually going to use my Emerald Envy to get more of this colour in. So this is one of our in colours that will be with us for another year and a bit. I'm just going to dot this one throughout. Wherever I see that there's a bit of a space to fill, I'm going to add my Emerald Envy. That's one of my dogs scratching to go out. Okay, I'll pop another one in up there. And then I'm going to take my crumb cake and using the little flower, it's also from the Botanical Blooms set, this little one here. I'm just going to dot some little flowers in crumb cake, just in and around really, just wherever I've got a bit of a gap. So I've still got the sentiment to put on, so I'm not too worried about that big gap that I've got there. So you could use any colour combination really with this. I think the pink and the yellow and the crumb cake works quite well. Really like the greens, love variations of green. But you could make this card with your favourite colour combination, no problem. There we go. Okay, pretty happy with that. Set off to one side. So then for the sentiment, which I'm going to get covered in ink. So I've cut this out with the stitch framelit dies, one of the oval shapes there. Not quite the smallest one, but I think the next size up, so not that big. And I've taken a sentiment from the Pop of Paradise, A Very Special Day. Okay. And I'm going to ink this up in chocolate chip, just so it's darker, so it's not black, but it's dark enough to be nice and clear and hold its own with all that busy pattern. There we go. So there we go, that's A Very Special Day there. Right, ready to start putting things together. So I'm just going to take my liquid glue, add that to this. I just like using liquid glue because it gives you, but when it sticks really well. I find sometimes with snail it sticks well at the time, but then over time it can sort of not adhere quite so well, and I'd hate the thought of people's cards sort of gradually falling apart over time. And also the good thing about this is that it gives you that split second, a couple of seconds. You can see I started one on the back there, but I wasn't so happy with that one, so I just reused it, which of course is the beauty of being able to turn things over. gives you a couple of seconds to readjust things, which is brilliant as well, particularly when you're just trying to line everything up. So I don't have much of a margin with this one. So I'm just going to take a second to make sure I line it up evenly. You see there, I'm just getting that little bit of moving around. Okay, so that's what we're looking like so far, which I'm pretty happy with. And then for the sentiment, I'm just going to put a dimensional on. She says I didn't get them out, so that's super prepared. There we go. Sorry, there we go. Dimensionals. So just adding a couple of dimensionals there. And adding the sentiment here. There we go. So that's my finished card using the leaf from Popper Paradise and all of the other leaves and stems and flowers from the Botanical Blooms stamp set. Like I said, get in quick if you don't have this one already. I'm sure it will sell out before the end of May. And thanks for joining me today. Bye for now.